not John 1:1. Genesis 1.
In the beginning, God created the heavens
and the earth. So in the beginning, that's when God. The beginning is the time that God created.
Yeah.
He created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
So time created at that point. So the order of relativity will be due to that to creation.
That's why you cannot. That's why
the change is in creation, not in God.
That's why you cannot say that he went from not creating to creating. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm not seeing a correlation.
Okay, if he goes from not doing X to doing X, yes or no, is that a change? If he intrinsically does it, not relationally, him intrinsically. If he goes from not doing X to doing X, is that a change intrinsically?
It's not a change in his nature.
No, intrinsically to him. Forget the nature, not the nature. Because the nature is the essential one.
I think you might be using the word intrinsic because the
Sure,
word
okay,
intrinsic
okay,
means it's
okay.
an essential property.
No.
Okay, so we define the word intrinsic.
The essential properties are properties that he needs to have eternally.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you mean.
Intrinsically are
properties that are not necessarily
volitional.
Yeah.
They're volitional. Okay.
If you want to appeal to that, creation is an intrinsic property, but love
creating
is an intrinsic property.
Yeah.
But love is an essential property.
Okay, good. So creating is intrinsic. Okay. So he goes, but then you can't say he goes from not creating to creating. That's the thing. Because if you say, I'm saying again, if you say that there's no time, then there cannot be no change. Because time is the measurement of that change.
What are you worried about?
Okay, could you agree?
Time will be the measurement of that change.
Good,
time is created when the matter is created.
Good.
So there is no change before.
Yes.
And in the creation, which is part of time, that's where change is.
Okay, good.
What is outside.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to ask you again. Did he intrinsically go from not creating to creating? Intrinsically.
He's essentially a creator, but choosing to create, he chooses to do that whenever.
So he chose to create intrinsically after not creating.
But there is no time relativity.
That is time because that's a change.
No time relativity, bro.
How is that not change?
Not necessarily time relativity.
Okay, is that a change?
It's not a change.
How is it not a change?
It is actualizing something. It's not a change about the nature of the person.
I've never said nature. It's intrinsic. I said intrinsic.
Where I'm making my argument for when God doesn't change is about His nature.
Okay, so he can.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Anything that is outside of creation is God.
Okay.
The existence that is outside of creation is God.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. When God creates time, space, and matter, change is applicable to time, space, and matter.
Okay.
So change only happens there.
Good.
I can understand what you mean, where like it's his intrinsic property, it's not an essential property for him to create. So creation, upon how we look at it, it could be analogically predicated that before creation and then after creation.
Yes.
Because we can't understand the concept of eternality.
Sure.
But the change is only applicable to us because time, space, and matter is relative to us, not relative to God.
That's what you're asserting. I'm attacking that. Okay, so what you just said. Okay, can God change essentially?
What do you mean, essentially?
Can any essential property of him change?
No, he's one essential property.
Can any what?
His one essential property is love. It never changes. Love, light, life never changes.
So him, what?
God is love. God is light. God is life. Never changes.
Do you know what an essential property is?
Something that is essential. Something that is a property of his existence. God is love. That's essential to his existence.
Okay.
God is light. That is essential to his existence. God is life. He's the main source of life. That's essential to his existence.
Is the attribute of creation essential?
No.
Not him. No. Don't mix the two.
Creator is
don't mix the two.
It's not essential. No.
The attribute of creation and him actually creating is two different things.
No, even the attribute of creation is not essential.
It's not essential?
No, it's not essential. What is essential is love. Out of love is when you choose to create, but you don't have to create. It's not essential. He doesn't have to create. Could he eternally create? If he wants to, yes.
So then he eternally has the attribute of creation.
No. If he can eternally create, like for example, he gives us eternal life, because he wants to, not because he has to.
No, I'm not.
I don't think you understand.
You're mixing the two.
You're mixing the two.
I'll tell you why. You're saying, okay, look. Do you know what I mean for creation to be an essential property?
Yeah, like something that if he does without it, he's not what he is.
No, not creation, having that property of creation.
Oh.
So if you just said that God could eternally create.
If he wants to, yes.
Yeah, that means he eternally had the property of creation. When I just say, I'm telling you what I mean.
There is a link where
You haven't even.
it doesn't.
I'm helping you now. I'm helping you.
You're not helping me. You're strawmanning my.
No, I'm telling you what it means. When I say that creation is an essential property, it means he always had the potential to create. That's what it means. For creation. That's what it means.
Appeal to it like that, but you see where you qualify it, the potential to create.
Yes.
That potential to create is what I would call love. That is the essential property that is due to God. Creation or creating is not essential to God.
I know.
And you can choose to have an eternal creation, like He gave us eternal life.
Okay, listen. When I say essential property of creating, I'm just saying that he eternally had the
What is the essential
potential.
property of creating?
It's called the property of creation. It's the attribute of creation.
No, what do you? No, that's secular reason.
No, that's what it's called.
What do you need to create?
God can, as you believe, God can create ex nihilo.
Let's say a mother, a husband and a wife. Yeah.
They don't create ex nihilo.
They can have a child.
Yeah, not ex nihilo though. Not ex nihilo.
No, ex
You can
nihilo,
create.
100%.
Yeah.
We are, very man, he did say like creatures or creation don't create ex nihilo. Only God creates ex nihilo. We are creative beings. God is the creator. We only use the elements of the earth to make stuff. God is the only one that creates out of nothing. But in that property, human beings are able to have a child. If a husband and a wife love each other so much, because of the property of love, they want to create a child, right? They don't have to create a child.
No, I'm agreeing.
Eternally.
I'm agreeing.
We're
getting to
this
now.
is what I'm appealing to.
Now we're getting somewhere.
God's essential property is love.
Okay.
Creation is not an essential property.
Okay.
He chooses to be to create because he's a loving God.
I don't think you know what it means. I'm gonna explain it one more time. Please let me finish. If for God to have the eternal attribute of creation, just means that He could always create. Can I please finish?
That's what
No, I'm gonna tell you. If God had the eternal attribute of creating or creation, He eternally had the potential to create. He could always create. The volitional attribute, which is what you're conflating, is Him actually creating. I agree that Him actually creating is not essential.
What is the eternal attribute of creating?
It's just Him having the potential to create.
What would be that property?
It's called the attribute of creation.
You see that property that is not the creation that you're talking about? The property of creation, I'm saying, is love, and that's what is essential. Then the creation comes in.
Okay, so
because
you're
he
saying,
loves, he creates.
So you're saying
he doesn't have to create.
So you're saying that, quote unquote, the eternal attribute of creation is the attribute of love.
Yes.
Okay,
love
and Him actually creating is not essential.
He doesn't have to.
Okay,
create.
but that's what I'm attacking.
I'm answering it.
That's what I'm attacking.
Why you keep going around?
Because you just affirmed earlier that no time equals no change. You literally affirmed that.
Yeah, in God's realm, there is no time. So
Okay,
He doesn't change.
good. And then in the very same breath, you said He went from not doing something to doing something.
Again,
in the same breath.
I don't think you're listening. I already said the terms that we use, like even when in Genesis it uses in the beginning, it's trying to appeal to eternal past. We don't have an understanding of what eternal past is, so we use the certain analogical predication to understand it. So even if I'm using the term time, or there was a time when God didn't create because He was loving and all of that, I'm still appealing to eternal past. That part, He is non-changing. Change only happens in creation. He doesn't have to create because He's loving. His love is full in Himself.
Sure.
He doesn't have to, but then He chooses to.
Okay, does that choice happen Him after not choosing it? Does that choice of Him creating happen after Him not choosing it?
That's the oxymoron. That choice happened opposite of Him not choosing it.
No, after Him, that choice of Him,
okay.
that choice of Him creating.
Rephrase the question. I want to understand you better.
You said He chose to create.
Yeah.
Okay, that choice of Him choosing to create, did He choose that after not creating?
What are you on about?
You know what I mean.
See, again, when you say the reason why I understand what you mean, but now I'm going to be more student in your position because I feel like when you say after, that implies time.
That's what I'm pushing to. That's what I'm. No, because I know. That's
so
what your
argument
position
is flawed. As soon as
that's
I
why
broke down the time argument, everything that you have to say is related to the when time was created.
Can you listen? That's why you can't say He chose to create after not creating. That's what I'm pushing.
Okay, well,
you can't say it. No, that's what you're saying. No, you said that we don't apply time.
Again,
you said we don't apply time to God because time is a creation, and then in the same breath, you said He created after not creating. in the very same breath.
I don't think he's understanding it.
Because you just affirm
what does the
that
term analogical predication mean?
No, tell me.
Analogical predication means an analogy so that the reader or the perceiver can understand what is being told, even if it's not the full extent of it. Like Mark Zuckerberg in the metaverse is an analogical predication of him in the real life. It's not necessarily him. So when God creates, let's say I'm using the terms like, oh, there was a time when God didn't create and then a time when God created. I don't have the word for eternal past. I don't have the word for all of that. So I'm using what phrases that are relative to me. Please, in context, think about what I'm saying. If God didn't, out of love, God is fullness in his love. He doesn't need to create. He's always got the fullness of everything he needs, but he chooses to create. Yeah. Time is a part of that creation. So change is not relative to him. So the time argument debunks your argument.
Bro,
time happens in creation. Why you up? Wait. Listen. This is where it is here. Time in creation is here. God is here. We're arguing a change in God. You're bringing time from creation to God to say that God changes. The argument is flawed. As soon as I put time to creation, the argument is flawed.
That's why you can't say that, bro. That's what I'm saying.
All right, we're going in circles now. Let's agree. Let's leave it here.
So you end it.
No, we're just going in circles.
You end it.
Define time.
Time. Relative. How would I define time? Motion. Relative motion.
Yeah. So when something isn't moving and there's a change in it, is that time?
What do you mean moving? Because when you use the term relative motion, we're not saying because a tree is not moving, then it's not relative to time. No, it is something that is within creation that is taking parts in time, space, and matter. So it's a relative motion. So what would you mean by motion when you throw out that question?
If there's a change, there's not motion. Is that a change in time?
Well, if there's a change, there is not motion.
Yeah. That isn't.
No. If there is a
like
change,
a color change,
if there is a
chemical
change,
reaction,
that's motion. If there is a change, that's motion.
You have a different definition for everything. Your definition of motion is different. The definition of time is different. As a physicist, time is a rate of change. Yes or no?
Time is a measurement of change. Yes.
Yes. And if there's a change, if God did something, is that a change?
But if the time itself is in the part where God did that thing, then that change is not relative to God. Simple as.
You're special bleeding.
Okay. So see, they're going around in circles.
Come to the point.
Okay. I'll conclude and you conclude. Okay. I'll conclude by saying this. You told me now that time is a creation. Yes? You told me time is a creation. Therefore, and you agree time is a measurement of change. If time is a creation, then there can't be change before he created. And then in the same breath, you said he went from not creating to creating, which is literally a change. That applies time, which is why your argument fails. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's going around in circles, guys. But I already said.
See, God is eternal. We don't even have the words to describe before time, space, and creation, right? So before that, we don't even have words to express it. So how can you express there's a change before creation? How can you express that? You don't
have to
know
use
that.
relative
Can
thought.
you show that to me according to the Quran? Right? Because if you're saying that we do not have that in our vocabulary, but if you do have that something like that in your Quran,
if
please
you
show
could
to
draw that
us.
to us, because we would only have to use analogical predications to understand
No,
what is
we're
happening.
doing a
Because it doesn't exist.
we're
That's why I'm
concluding.
saying if you have it in the Quran, since you're saying that, you're claiming that, if you have that in the Quran, please show it to us.
No, we're concluding. I can talk to you after, but we're concluding.
So it's their fault. Like you tell them time.
They're very good at, putting the thing on Christianity, but when you turn it around with
Like,
the
would you
Quran,
be able to
there's
argue
no
the
question,
same
there's no answer.
according to Allah?
Yes.
You say Allah changes?
Yeah.
Okay, that concludes the conversation. So are you saying that Allah is within time?
Time is abstract. So yeah.
Wait.
It's the same way you can say Allah in logic.
Is Allah within time or
Time is abstract, so there's no
what does
such
that mean?
thing.
That's not what I'm.
Time-
There's no such thing as time.
Time is abstract, so time is not a bound. It's like saying it's God in logic. It doesn't make sense.
No, God is logic. That's what we say.
But it is logic.
God is logic.
Okay, I don't know what I mean.
Jesus is the logos, the logic of God, the knowledge of God.
Logos. Okay. So just
When you
conclude.
say God is God, or would you say God has
Camel
logic?
urine because his prophet told him
God has
camel
logic.
urine.
So logic is something other than God.
It's not a thing. It's abstract.
Camel
Yeah,
urine.
It's
even
a
if it's
concept.
even if it's abstract, it's still a thing.
No, things
Drink
happen
your camel
suddenly.
urine.
Even if it's
affecting your
abstract,
brains.
a unicorn could be abstract.
Your prophet
No.
told
Hey,
you to
shut your mouth,
drink
Austin
camel
John, man.
urine.
Go and kiss that.
Relax.
Apologies. Shut your mouth, man. Your breast smell like
You
camel
are a
piss.
camel pee
Go and drink
drinker.
camel piss in 7 hours.
You're a camel pee drinker.
You pagan.
Go
Austin
drink
John.
according to
Wait
your
for Allah to
prophet.
grow
Go
your
drink
hair.
it.
Ibn Jahil, Ibn
Your
Fibin.
prophet told
Jahil,
you to
Ibn
drink
Fibin.
camel
Shut your
urine.
mouth.
Your prophet told you to drink camel urine. It's affecting your brains.
Affecting your brain is making your hair fall out.
Go.
What are you saying?
Anyways, I forgot what I was saying.
Okay, you said abstract things can be real.
Yes. Abstract things are still things in existence. They're just
I say no.
not literal. If I imagine a unicorn, it's an abstract description of a horse with a horn. It's not an actual thing. It is real in the abstract term, or it is what's the term?
If something is abstract, it can't be real. It's
Yes,
abstract.
it is. Yes, it can.
Things.
The number one.
If for
The
something
number one. Not.
It's abstract. It doesn't.
abstract, so-
It doesn't exist. There's no.
It exists. What are you talking about? The number one exists.
There's no
That's why we
metaphysics.
use it as a
No,
description.
it doesn't.
Yes, it does exist. The abstract exists. What are you on
it
about?
doesn't. There's no metaphysical thing called one that's floating around.
Yes, there is. It's called the knowledge of God.
Knowledge of what is one.
Yes, every knowledge. Let me learn. Every knowledge. Okay, we can leave it there.
Yeah, good.
You see, guys, they are
God is number one. Love. Where's my man? Where's my man? Where's that? Where's that?
Allah cannot be God because he's inside creation. He's inside time, space, and matter. It's crazy. I've told him very gently that as soon as we apply that, we have no term to describe eternal past. So we have to use analogical predication to understand what we're talking about. So even in Genesis, when it says in the beginning, it's appealing to eternal past, but he's using the term beginning, which looks like time relative. But it doesn't mean it is time relative. So him saying, oh, there was a time when God didn't create and a time when God created, that doesn't apply because the creation of time happens in the creation. So how can it relate to God if it happens in the creation? It's flawed. He already confessed that Allah, so Allah changes, Allah is in time, Allah is in time, that's pantheism, Allah comes in. Allah changes in his creation.